Really?
So
Okay.
that was my first launch I saw up close. And I was instantly hooked, and I've tried to make it to every single launch possible since then.
3, 2, 1.
Did you know that SpaceX's upcoming Starship Flight 7 will be the first to carry and deploy 10 Starlink payload simulators? This isn't just a test, it's a glimpse into the future of global internet coverage. But that's not all. Flight 7 is packed with groundbreaking features that could change space travel forever. From new cooling systems to reused Raptor engines, every aspect of this mission is pushing the envelope. The mysterious payload, Starlink's secret test, picture this. Starship Flight 7 soars through space, its metal body shining in the sunlight. Suddenly, a hatch opens and 10 mysterious objects float away. What are these strange payloads? SpaceX has kept us guessing, but now we're getting some answers. These 10 objects are Starlink payload simulators, about to go on a suborbital trip that could change how we connect to the internet globally. SpaceX chose simulators for a smart reason. They can gather important data without risking expensive real satellites. These dummies match the size, weight, and shape of actual Starlink satellites, helping SpaceX learn about how to deploy them and how they'll act when they come back into the atmosphere. As the simulators arc through space, they'll eventually splash down in the Indian Ocean. SpaceX will watch them closely, collecting info that could transform internet access in far-flung places. This test brings us closer to a world where even remote villages have fast internet, ships at sea can make clear video calls, and disaster relief teams can quickly set up communication networks. But this test isn't just about better internet. It could lead to smarter ways of putting satellites in orbit, making future space missions cheaper and simpler. This could open doors for more science in space, better ways to observe Earth, and maybe even help us talk between planets someday. Flight 7 faces some tough technical hurdles. SpaceX engineers have had to come up with clever solutions for releasing payloads in the harsh conditions of space. They've tackled problems like keeping satellites stable as they're released, figuring out exact flight paths, and building systems tough enough to handle extreme heat, cold, and radiation. As we wait for Starship Flight 7 to launch, we're watching a big moment in space exploration unfold. This mission is a bold move towards making space more accessible and expanding what we can do beyond Earth. What we learn from these simulators will shape the future of satellite tech and help connect people around the world. Keep your eyes on the sky, space fans. We're about to see the next big step in our space adventure, and it's going to be exciting. Tell us what you think about this groundbreaking mission in the comments, and hit that like button if you're pumped about where space tech is headed. Block 2, the evolution of Starship. Remember those early Starship prototypes? They looked like something from a retro sci-fi movie, all shiny and full of promise. Well, SpaceX has been busy, and they've created something amazing. Meet Block 2, the next Starship that's changing the game for space travel. Block 2 isn't just a small update. It's a total redesign that's pushing space exploration to new limits. This version is 300 tons heavier when fully loaded than the ones before it. SpaceX has given Block 2 some really cool new tech. The metallic tiles are part of a cutting-edge heat shield. Some tiles even have their own cooling system, helping Starship stay cool during fiery re-entries. SpaceX engineers have been working hard to manage the extra heat from a heavier vehicle coming back through the atmosphere. Their clever solution? They've added special hardware to Block 2 for catching it. This new idea could change how we bring spacecraft back to Earth. All these upgrades in Block 2, like the better heat shield and stronger structure, are setting the stage for Mars missions. These improvements help the ship handle bigger loads and longer trips, potentially opening the door to traveling between planets. Picture a Starship landing on Mars, its high-tech heat shield glinting in the sunlight of another world. This isn't just a dream anymore. It's getting closer to reality with each test flight. Block 2 is a big step towards exploring the Red Planet and maybe even putting people on Mars someday. While this is all exciting, there's still more to do. Flight 7 will put Block 2 through tough tests, checking important systems and collecting valuable information. Every successful test gets us closer to a future where traveling to other planets is possible. Catching a falling giant. The tower's crucial role. Imagine a massive 230-foot rocket plummeting back to Earth. How do you catch something that big? This is the crazy challenge SpaceX is tackling with their Starship booster recovery system. It's a feat that could change space travel forever. Catching and reusing Starship's booster is key to making space launches cheaper and more frequent. Each successful catch saves a ton of money on manufacturing. But during Flight 6, SpaceX hit a snag. Their catch attempt failed because of a problem with the tower. You can bet the control room was tense when they saw their rocket slip away. SpaceX isn't giving up, though. They've been working hard to improve their catch system for Flight 7. We're talking about a major upgrade with some seriously cool tech. They've got new sensors that can track the booster super accurately and stronger arms that can handle the weight of a falling skyscraper. It's like they've built a giant high-tech catcher's mitt. The science behind this catch is mind-blowing. Everything has to be timed perfectly, down to the tiniest fraction of a second. The forces involved could crush a tank. The system has to react instantly as the booster falls at speeds up to 100 miles per hour. The catch tower uses advanced sensors to follow the booster's path, while powerful arms move in real time to grab the rocket safely. These upgrades fix the problems they had in Flight 6. SpaceX engineers have made the tower stronger, improved their tracking systems, and added better safety measures. If SpaceX can get these catches right consistently, it'll make launching stuff into space way cheaper. This could open up space travel to more people than ever before. Imagine a future where going to orbit is as common as flying across the country. That's the kind of future we might be heading towards. As Flight 7 gets closer, everyone's watching SpaceX. Will their new and improved catch system work this time? The whole space community is on the edge of their seats, waiting to see if this bold recovery method will finally prove itself. One thing's for sure, this mission is a big test for the future of reusable rockets. The Phoenix rises, Raptor engine reborn. Guess what, space fans? One of the Raptor engines on Starship Flight 7 has a secret. It's not just any engine, it's a veteran of the cosmos, having already tasted the thrill of spaceflight. That's right, we're witnessing history in the making with the first ever reflight of a Raptor engine on Starship. Now you might be thinking, what's the big deal about reusing an engine? Well, let me tell you, it's a game changer. Reusing complex components like the Raptor engine is a high-stakes gamble that could revolutionize space travel. On one hand, it could drastically cut costs and speed up launch schedules. On the other, it's like playing with fire. One tiny flaw could spell disaster for the entire mission. Let's take a trip down memory lane and follow the journey of Raptor engine number 314. This plucky powerhouse first roared to life on Flight 6, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in space exploration. But its adventure didn't end there. Instead of being retired, it was given a new lease on life for Flight 7. Can you imagine the stories this engine could tell if it could talk? But getting a used engine ready for another trip to space isn't as simple as changing the oil in your car. The refurbishment process is an intense, meticulous ordeal. Engineers pore over every inch of the engine, running exhaustive tests and validations to ensure it's up to the challenge. It's like giving the engine a full-body checkup, making sure every component is in tip-top shape before it faces the rigors of spaceflight once again. And speaking of evolution, let's talk about how far the Raptor engine has come. The latest version, the Raptor V3, is a beast compared to its predecessors. We're talking about a thrust increase from 185 tons in the original V1 to a whopping 280 tons in the V3. That's like upgrading from a sports car to a rocket-powered monster truck. But it's not just about raw power. The engineers at SpaceX have been working their magic to make the Raptor more efficient too. The V3 has shed an incredible 53% of its weight compared to earlier versions. That might not sound like much, but in the world of rockets, every ounce counts. This weight reduction could save almost 70 tons on the booster and about 12 tons on the ship. That's like stripping the weight of a whole herd of elephants from the rocket. So what does all this mean for the future of space travel? If SpaceX can pull off this engine reuse successfully, we're looking at a whole new ballgame. Production costs could plummet, making space more accessible than ever before. Launch schedules could ramp up, paving the way for more frequent missions and faster scientific progress. As we count down to Flight 7, the anticipation is palpable. Will the reused Raptor engine perform flawlessly, ushering in a new era of reusable rocketry? Or will unforeseen challenges arise, sending engineers back to the drawing board? One thing's for sure, the eyes of the world will be watching as this phoenix of an engine rises once again, ready to propel us into the future of space exploration. As we wrap up our journey through the incredible innovations of Starship Flight 7, it's clear we're not just witnessing a test flight, we're getting a sneak peek into the future of space travel. From the mysterious Starlink payload simulators to the groundbreaking Block 2 upgrades, every aspect of this mission is pushing the boundaries of what's possible. But here's the kicker. Flight 7 is just the beginning. SpaceX has set its sights on an ambitious goal of over 180 missions in 2025. That's a launch every 2 days. Can you imagine the sight of rockets soaring into the sky that frequently? It's a future that seemed like science fiction not too long ago. And let's not forget about Mars. Elon Musk has made it clear that SpaceX is shifting its focus towards the red planet. We might even see uncrewed test missions to Mars before the first human sets foot on its dusty surface. It's a thrilling prospect that has space enthusiasts on the edge of their seats. As for Flight 7 itself, the countdown is on. While we don't have an exact date yet, the anticipation is building. Will we see it take to the skies in the coming weeks or months? One thing's for sure, when it does launch, it'll be a moment that could reshape the future of space exploration. Are you ready for the next giant leap?